darkest shadows. Ornery. It's time to ask the question.
So what's going on, everybody? My name's Cooks Homie, and today, well, this is going to be kind of a little bit different video because it's not going to be gameplay. It's going to be talking about a new game and also probably some new stuff that's going to be going on with the series Bendy and the Ink Machine, or Bendy and the Dark Revival. Basically, Bendy. You know it, you love it. Everybody's been covering it. I saw it, and I actually have touched on during the gameplay of Bendy and the Dark Revival, and also I'm going to give a good heads up. If you have not seen Bendy the Dark Revival or even Bendy the Ink Machine, I'm going to be giving some spoilers for both of the games because this is going to be talking about how mixtures of both are here. And also, so the fact of we're going to be talking about a new game, and also apparently there's news circling around that there is going to be a movie for Bendy, which honestly, I'm loving the fact that more and more of these games that we grew up with are actually getting more and more like noticed for movies. I mean, we just had like a few months ago we had the FNAF movie, but then we also have the Mario movie, which that was like the biggest one in a while, I think. I'm not 100% sure, I could be wrong. We are now going to be talking about the new game, Bendy and the Cage. Now, Bendy and the Cage is actually a game that is going to be going on in between the events of Dark Revival. As stated in the actual bio of the game, it says Bendy and the Cage is a first-person psychological horror game that takes place during the events of Bendy and the Dark Revival. The shadows are closing in. Fight the madness before it's too late. So it's going on during the events of Bendy and the Dark Revival. So it's going to be during this. It says also, so the description is what I read previously. Now we have about the game. Bendy and the Cage is the fearful story of Henry Stein, the co-creator of Bendy. He's the right-hand man of Joey Drew. We are playing as him and his escape from the Keeper prison known as the Pit. So basically where we found him in Bendy and the Dark Revival, which I'm believing, my take on this is that we are going to be playing as Henry, going through the Pit, trying to get to like help Audrey during the ending of Bendy and the Dark Revival. I'm very certain that is what's going to be, because of that's the only time we see Henry. The only time we see Henry is when we actually go down and actually are in the pit. We see him caged up, but we never go back to get his help until the near end when we are Bendy. We're near the end and he opens the gate for us. Now, how'd he get there? Well, maybe the ending is that. I have no idea. I'm not a fortune teller. There's more description says, the darkest souls have been banished to the deep hellscape of metal and blood. Survival will require you to fight the madness before it devours you whole. So maybe it's gonna be more fighting, I feel like, trying to get through. I think it's gonna be enticing more of Bendy and the Dark Revival and maybe Boris's kind of game, like where you have to fight the onslaught of enemies to get through to where you need to go. Which that could be a very good hot take for a Bendy game, while having the story, but also having that kind of little arcade-ish thing of going through and defeating enemies. Now, I'm going to throw up some images here, because that is what the biggest thing is. We knew about the game name, we knew about everything for a little bit, but we didn't know that Henry was going to be the character. We didn't know that, but here is the first image. Now, I did some digging, and what I found out, people are calling this the Lost Skeleton, because it does look like the Lost One from Bendy and the Ink Machine. The Lost Ones being the people that are basically the souls that are worshipping Bendy, but they're not really a certain person. And now to me, when I first saw this, one, the game looks great. The details look a lot more shaded. The models look more detailed. Even the weapon looks nice. Everything looks awesome. If that's how the game is going to look, this has some high hopes. But what I love the most is that it is encapsulating that it's not just ink anymore. It looks like it's being a mixture of actual flesh, bone. It looks like it's more going into the more horror kind of grotesque kind of looking for the game, which honestly I believe that is going to be the great stepping stone. The next image that we have is actually it's like we see another lost skeleton in the middle. I'm going to get that out of the way first, but he looks like he's holding some sort of like weird makeshift weapon, kind of like something out of like, I don't know, you try to see from like Mad Max or some crazy thing like that. So basically just survival, grotesque world. but what we can see from the left in that room, there's words there for some sort of like way out. I cannot make, to me, I'm trying to make out what it says. I looked at it for a while, I cannot find out. It genuinely, I can't, all I can see is WOR. I can't see because of that bars, but that's what I'm getting, some sort of like entry word. I don't know. Once again, I'm just spitballing what I see. But once again, the details look great on here. It kind of reminds me of when we were Audrey facing King Widow. It's when we were facing the King Widow, and that's what we saw. I mean, that's the kind of thing that we're seeing. I mean, it looks like more fighting. And then we move to the third image. It gives you an idea of like the buildings. The buildings look more industrial instead of like just regular buildings, and a lot more because we're deep down in the pit. And just from the outline of everything, it looks like we're in like some sort of factory area. Like everything's industrial. We see pipes going everywhere. We see honestly probably giant machines. It's just a lot more different. It kind of has the same layout looking when we were going into like near Wilson's area. Maybe we'll see other parts from Bendy in the Dark Revival in the cage. I don't know, but because like the game said, it's going on during the same time frame. Maybe we'll even see like remnants of the game while playing as Henry. Maybe we'll even see the Ink Demon again. I have high hopes that we'll see the Ink Demon again because it's not a Bendy game unless we get that. If we don't get that, then it's not a Bendy game if we don't get the Ink Demon. And now here comes my probably favorite image because it brings out a character I actually absolutely adore. Good old Sammy Lawrence makes an appearance again. He comes back from what we thought the dead in the first game, and then the second game he's just trapped. But here we see him basically in like a cage, kind of like from our angle it looks like we might be in a cage and he's helping us. Because you see his axe in the background, you see his good old mask of Bendy, and then it'll cut out where the mouth is there. You can see his rib cage, like you could literally see his ribs, you can see the sternum, everything. His model is just a lot more detailed. You can see veins, everything just looks a lot more creepier and more like, it looks more polished, and that's what I love the most. I believe that maybe he's trying to help us, maybe because in Dark Revival, Henry was going on saying he's done like retries multiple times, like he's tried to break the cycle, I believe, multiple times. And maybe throughout the lines, maybe Sammy decided to help. Maybe Sammy was like, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know, because I'm kind of contradicting myself, because during the escape while being Beast Ink Demon Bendy as Audrey, he's there praising the Ink Demon. Maybe he's going to be an ally in this game. I have no idea. Maybe it could be a twist, kind of like before, where he's an ally in the beginning, or he becomes an enemy, or it might just be the other way around, where he's an enemy and becomes an ally. We never know, but I'm just happy to see that he's still here. And now we have the final image for Bendy in the cage. We see a actual lost one, a regular one. He looks a lot more gruesome. It looks like you can see a lot more blood. It's not just ink anymore. He's a lot more detailed, and we also see something I find kind of cool, in that this is going to be more it shows this game's going to be more combat based. We have a blocking system because Henry's holding up the axe like he's protecting himself from getting attacked. In Dark Revival, we didn't have that. We just had special abilities for our weapons, and where we could just get hit. The only thing that could stop us from getting hit was TPing, and that was the only thing that could stop, and that half the time didn't work, and that was just for me, but maybe I'm wrong. The planned release date is in 2024. Now, if that's true, that'll be nuts. So it's sometime this year. I have hopes that it will come out. I don't know if it will, but if it does, it'll be fantastic. I mean, this is only the first month of the year. There's 11 more down the road, but I mean, games take a while to come out, and if it does, you know very well I'm going to be on this game the moment it comes out. Now let's go into probably the more anticipated thing people are talking about now, because this kind of thing that I'm talking about, like the game, and now the new thing I'm going to be talking about, is been going on. It's kind of been crazy for the last few weeks. People have been talking about left, right, and center. The Bendy movie that has it's been confirmed. It's in production. There is a Bendy movie, which honestly, I'm thinking I'm happy that we're seeing more and more game adaptation movies. For the people that were actually into the game, like into the story and everything, I believe that they did great to the community. But the people just walking in just to see that movie, oh, it's like, oh, it's the Finance Freedom movie, let's watch it. They won't know anything about it and probably not get it, probably not like it. That's why the critic rating was so bad, but the actual audience was high. I hope that they do that recipe. I hope that they do it for the audience, not for the critics. That's how I believe game adaptations movies should be done. And one also thing, the people that are making this movie, that are helping create it, is Radar Pictures. The people that are behind the only movie I know from them, Jumanji. I mean, the Jumanji movie was not bad. I personally liked it. I mean, there isn't really much to go on about the movie for Bendy that other than it's actually like it's true, it's real, it's happening, it's in production. I'm pretty sure, like it's confirmed. That's my little rant. I mean, this kind of was just a giant rant. Also talking about how Bendy's coming up, because as you guys saw on my channel, I love doing Bendy. Like playing Bendy Ink Machine was great. I love Dark Revival. Dark Revival's story was amazing. That's kind of like what this video was about. Kind of to talk about the game, the cage coming out, and just a little bit about that. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new around here, why not subscribe and stick around? Hit the little notification bell to get notifications whenever I upload or whenever I go live, which I will probably start doing soon. I am sorry. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
My ink swells and boils. It consumes. I am the ink demon.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through.